When we step back and look at the universe, the galaxies, stretched across immeasurable space, the intricate balance of life here on Earth, the harmony that ties it all together, we are forced to ask a question that refuses to go away. Why does creation exist at all? Why is there something instead of nothing? Some would argue that everything is the result of blind chance, a cosmic accident, a random collision of matter that somehow produced stars, planets, ecosystems, and eventually human beings with minds that can question their own existence. But when we are honest, when we really look closely, whether through the lens of a telescope gazing into the heavens or through the magnification of a microscope peering into the smallest forms of life, the answer becomes impossible to ignore. What we find is design. We find intelligence. We find purpose. We find the fingerprints of a master hand at work in every corner of creation, from the lowest form of life to the highest, from the mineral structures that make up the Earth to the vast orbits of planets. There is evidence of intention everywhere. Take the human body, for instance. Every system, the respiratory system, the circulatory system, the nervous system is astonishingly complex on its own, yet each one interlocks with the others in a perfect harmony that sustains life. A disruption in even the smallest part of the process can bring the entire body to collapse. That is not the work of accident. That is the mark of careful planning. Consider also the balance of nature. The air we breathe is filled with oxygen and produced by plants, while the carbon dioxide we exhale feeds those very same plants. The cycle is intentional. The distance of the Earth from the Sun is precise. A little closer and life would burn away. A little farther and it would freeze. Water remains liquid only within that perfect window. Our planet is placed exactly where it needs to be, spinning at exactly the right speed, tilted at exactly the right angle. These are not the products of random collision. They are the outworking of a designer's thought. Creation itself is governed by laws, not chaos. Gravity pulls with consistency. The laws of physics remain stable from one galaxy to the next. The principles of biology are consistent, from the smallest microorganism to the largest mammal. Even when the microscope reveals life as a level invisible to the naked eye, the same order is found. Nothing has been left to chance. What we often call chance is simply the mystery of design we do not yet fully understand. The writer of Hebrews said it well. All things are held together by the word of God's power. The designer did not merely set the world spinning and then abandon it. He sustains it moment by moment, maintaining its order and its beauty with his word. Yet for all of this, something remarkable stands out. Science, for all its knowledge and discovery, has never been able to tell us why creation exists. It can explain processes, but not purposes. It can describe the how, but it cannot touch the why. Science can map the genetic code, trace the origins of stars, and measure the age of rocks, but it has remained silent about the most fundamental question of all. Why is there creation at all? Why do we exist? What is the purpose of the universe? The same is true for philosophy. Philosophers have speculated endlessly about existence and meaning, but apart from God, they have never been able to give a satisfying answer. Their voices echo in empty halls. Their systems rise and fall, but the essential question of purpose remains unanswered. Even theology, which should know better, has at times failed here. It has built towering systems of doctrine, speaking eloquently about sovereignty, free will, and divine decrees, but has often neglected to answer the simplest question of all. Why did God create in the first place? Too many theologians have found delight in abstract speculation, preferring metaphysics and argument over a living knowledge of God's heart. They have sought the opinions of other men more than they have sought the word of God. As a result, they have missed the most beautiful truth of all. Creation was born out of God's love and his desire for a family. What we discover in the opening chapters of Genesis is unlike anything science, philosophy, or theology has been able to provide. Despite all the ridicule and debate hurled against them, those first 3 chapters remain the most enduring explanation of creation. They reveal what science has overlooked, what philosophy has failed to grasp, and what theology has sometimes ignored. They tell us not just how the world came into being, but why it did. They tell us that creation is not an accident, not chaos, not chance. It is the deliberate work of God, designed with purpose and sustained with love. This is the difference between truth and theory. Theories shift. They are born, they live for a time, and they die. Once, men believed the earth was flat. Once, they believed the earth was the center of the universe. Once, they believed diseases were caused by imbalances of fluids in the body. Once, they believed life could spring spontaneously from non-living matter. Each of these theories was embraced in its time, taught as fact, defended with confidence, but time exposed them. They were overturned, discarded, and replaced by new theories, which in turn will also one day be revised. Theories have an expiration date. They serve for a while, but then are replaced. But truth is eternal. Truth does not need revision. No one edits the multiplication table. No one argues that 2 + 2 equals anything other than 4. Truth does not change with culture, time, or discovery. And Genesis, standing as it has for centuries, continues to proclaim eternal truth. In the beginning, God created. The claim of Genesis goes even further. It declares that the earth itself is not an afterthought, but the very reason. For the heavens, the stars, the sun, the moon, the galaxies, they were placed in their orbits to serve the earth, to light it, to mark times and seasons, to sustain life here. That means the vastness of space does not make us insignificant. It makes us intentional. The universe was designed with the earth in mind, and the earth was designed with humanity in mind. That is not arrogance. It is not pride. It is simply the truth that creation is relational. God designed a home because He dreamed of a family to dwell in it. And here we arrive at the most profound reason for creation. Why does the universe exist? Why this planet, this balance, this order? The answer is as simple as it is breathtaking. Because God desired children. Creation is the stage on which the drama of redemption would be played. The earth is the home God prepared for His sons and daughters. The galaxies and systems, the sun and moon, the laws of physics, the balance of ecosystems, all of it exists to make possible the Father's dream of a family. This means your life is not an accident. You are not the result of random forces or meaningless chaos. You are the intentional product of a Father's desire. Every sunrise, every star in the night sky, every law of nature that sustains you is a reminder that God dreamed of you before the foundation of the world. Creation is not cold or impersonal. It is not the outcome of blind mechanics. It is the evidence of love. So when you look at the stars, you are not seeing lifeless matter scattered in empty space. You are seeing the handiwork of a Father who placed them there for a purpose. When you consider the laws of nature, you are not seeing cold equations. You are witnessing the order of the One who holds all things together by His word. And when you open the Bible, especially those opening chapters of Genesis, you are not reading myths or primitive guesses. You are encountering eternal truth. You are hearing the voice of the designer, explaining what no human theory has ever been able to explain. Creation exists because of Him, through Him, and for Him. The reason for creation shows the master hand of God. Nothing was left to chance. Everything was governed by law, shaped with intention, and directed toward a grand objective. Science has described processes, but has never answered the why. Philosophy has speculated, but has never satisfied. Theology has often argued, but too often missed the heart. But the Word of God declares it plainly and beautifully. Creation exists because the Father dreamed of a family. He built a home for His children. He filled it with treasures, and He sustains it with His power. Creation is not meaningless. It is not random. It is love written into the fabric of the universe. And so you and I can live with confidence, knowing we are not accidents drifting through an indifferent cosmos. We are sons and daughters living in a world designed by the Father's own hand, a world built for His dream, a world that exists because of His love.